With an assortment of great games last year in 2025, you can never cut out Kojima from the conversation. How much better did he actually make Death Stranding 2? How's it going, everyone? It's your boy LagKitKat back at it again with another casual review. Today we have Death Stranding 2. So before we jump right in, a little history between Death Stranding and me. When Death Stranding initially released, I was not the biggest fan, especially with memes and people calling this game a walking simulator. I was convinced that Kojima had already lost touch with gaming. I've tried playing the first Death Stranding back in 2020, but I still couldn't get into it. I had 5 attempts at playing the first Death Stranding. I was convinced that this game was really bad. First attempt, I gave up the moment I tripped over a rock in the intro. Second attempt, I gave up the moment I saw I had to deliver a dead body over the mountains. Third attempt, I gave up the moment I had to go through BTs. And I thought Kojima is lazy for not animating enemies or like animating monsters, and we had like invisible ghosts. Like, come on, budget cuts much? Fourth attempt, gave up the moment I realized I kept delivering the same packages over and over again. I didn't know that they were just repeatable quests. Only in my 5th try did I tell myself, alright, how about we just play the main story, forget all the side content, and let's just deliver packages and connect the world. Every year, since 2020, I had 1 attempt each year, and by 2025, that was when I finally realized the beauty of Death Stranding. The world, the people, the story especially. Like, Kojima is a filmmaker through and through, and games are how he expresses his medium. Jumping right into it today, we'll discuss 3 things. 1, how fast did I beat the game? 2, how easy is the game? 3, is it worth your money today? So it took me 58 hours, 27 minutes, and 37 seconds. Since in the first game, I skipped most of the side content unless I needed a place for respite. That was the only reason for connecting. In this game, I decided I wanted to connect every single place at the bare minimum and also finish the giant highway because I wasn't able to do it in the first game. And unfortunately, I was not able to connect to every single place again. I also wasn't able to finish the highway, but I managed to connect most of Australia. I was able to do 80% of the highway. I would say that's a better job than the first game. So judging by how much time I put into the side stuff in this game, I would say that it took 20 hours or so just going back and forth, making deliveries and then placing materials into the highways. So I would say that this game there's so much content, I don't know if I could finish this here. So in terms of combat, it's pretty easy. I think regardless of whatever difficulty you choose, the most difficult part of this game is the traveling. That's not something you can fix with difficulty. The only way to make the traveling easier is by doing one thing. That's grinding. Unfortunately, that's the only way for you to make this game easier and to build up the world. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pray that other people's structures help you out from getting from point A to point B. Especially since in the first game, I was able to make it to the end because of the strand system, the invisible friends that are there, the allies that we don't see, but they leave behind their mark. So yeah, the only way to make the game easier is by contributing yourself to the strand system and making connections. If you're not willing to do that, you're gonna have to rely on other buildings or creations that other players made and connect that way. In this game, the grinding got easier though because of you're able to transport various packages if you're willing to have the packages be damaged and finishing the request by like going to a nearby mule camp and like defeating all of the enemies there. So I didn't know that you could make the game easier that way or 5-starring the people that way faster. Another thing that you could do to make the grinding much easier is they've introduced like these mines where you could just have a lot of chiral crystals. You could just go to BT areas, defeat the BTs, and then like get their chiral crystals and then like just produce the material that you need for the highway or even the rail system or any weapon. So that's my tip. I believe that like the game gets easier the more chiral crystals that you have. I think this game deserves the "it's just fine" tier. Listen, I know this game isn't for everybody. I also know how difficult it is to go through the grind. But if you are into games that mirror our world, a story of how AI and our government can manipulate its own people, then this game is for you. If you're still hesitant, it's alright, because this game, honestly, I believe that this game is better when it's 50% off, and that's why it's going to the 50% off tier. While the story and gameplay improved, I firmly believe that this game gets better as time goes on, and not when you get it right away. I'm glad I got to play this game, and I hope you guys get a chance and the patience to play this game as well, as this is a worthy game that will give you tons of hours to do, and the real game is figuring out how to make the journey better for you and for others.